Okay, let's do some Oblivion Remaster. We're going to do a lot of this testing, despite the fact that it's a little noisy, on the performance mode. The Unleash doesn't really seem to increase performance, at least not in anything I tested, but it is noisier, so I'm not going to use it much. Balanced and performance we can use just depending on the game. Performance is obviously much more performant, but it's also noisier. Okay, so we'll check our settings here. Not too far in the game, but we'll test outdoors, obviously. Yeah, so at 1600p, that ultra setting there, and just a little bit of scaling. This game's very hard to run, as you can see. Around 60-ish or so. Rain is good, makes it more demanding. This traversal drops, eh? That's just the game. Set that. That's just the game right now. You can watch some Digital Foundry, and I think a couple other guys did it, but Digital Foundry talked about it. But yeah, you're going to be getting 50 to 60 in this mode here. Right, not bad. Let's come in here and we will change a few other things here now. So we're going to go down from Ultra and leave Ultra, and we're going to put on a little bit more scaling. Let's try Balanced. So in all honesty, you're probably going to want Balanced with these settings, at least. Because it'll give you around your 60. This game's totally fine at 60. You don't need 150 FPS. Yeah, it's pretty good there now. Just shy of 60. We can try a little frame gen now that we have... Oh, automatic. Now that we have our 60 base, I'm happy to use frame gen after that, just to top it up. Otherwise, if you're not at 60, you'll start, or at least 50 or so, it'll start to feel weird, but it doesn't have that issue here. So, because we're at 60-ish FPS base. So quite good, you're going to get an easy performance here. Not bad. Okay, let's try turning on some more stuff here. Yeah, a little gloomy, but not raining, not nighttime anymore. It's looking quite good though, right? Running very well. Let's see what happens if we put down that performance there, or that balance mode there. Yeah, see, it's still going to run really well with frame gen, but again, we have like ray tracing, hardware ray tracing on. So if you don't want it to be noisy, you can certainly play like this. And again, you're at 60 now. Frame gen actually worked really well in this game, to be honest. They did a good job with it. Okay, we'll try some Spider-Man 2 and see what's up. I am not very far in this game, as you can see. I just got it. Let's check our settings, though. This one should run relatively well, to be honest. So, we are at, if you can see past that, which I can't, 1600p. Frame gen off. DLSS just quality. Again, you don't need it, but I'll put it on. High, is there very high? Very high. We're going to go very high. Ray trace shadows, yeah. Ray trace ambient occlusions, yes. I said yes. Very high, sure. I saw a medium there. I don't want to see no mediums. High. Is there very high? Yes, there is. Okay, let's give it a try. See what we get. It's extremely high settings. But we don't. The only thing we don't really have is we don't have ray reconstruction on. But we do have only a little bit of scaling. It's really hard to look at the performance metrics while I'm watching this, but it's running really well. Wait, can Miles fly? Like just straight up fly? Oh, no, it's just these trailers. Yeah, so I mean, the lows, there's some dips here and there, but it's running really well. Wow, okay. Okay, let's come in here and we can try some other stuff here because the performances, you know, we're getting some bad lows, but it's around 60. We could turn up scaling Where was frame gen? Let's turn it on. Frame gen something. DLSS frame gen? FSR. Oh, okay, that's what that says. Yeah, so DLSS frame gen. Let's leave it on. Scaling. We don't really need more scaling. So let's just go like that. Okay, frames went massively up now, obviously, because of frame gen. I feel like this might be a game where you can use frame gen without any issues. I mean, now we're way up in performance. So I'd probably play like this. Right? It's not a fast twitch shooter or anything, so frame gen should be fine. Again, I'm not very far, but it looks really good though. Holy smokes. Okay, let's come in here one more time and change one of the thing. And we will try that ray reconstruction wherever that went. So Legacy should be easier to run, but it may not look as good. Transformer model should be harder to run, but it's going to look better. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, let's try it. Now we're getting really close to maxed out. We do have frame gen, and actually we don't have that much scaling. It's only quality. Yeah, so it's actually going to run really well. I don't... Like, I'd have to get closer to stuff to really see if the ray reconstruction makes a difference, but... I mean, the game generally looks really nice. So anyways, yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to really crank up this game. This is rather enjoyable. I feel they've really improved the web slinging, I swear, from the original Spider-Man. I never played Miles Morales. Or anything like that, so I only played the original one. This just feels more... I mean, is this Sandman? Probably. Sweet. Okay, Ghosts of Tsushima now. Let's check where we're at. 1600p. DLSS just on quality because why not? No frame gen. Graphics. Turn it up just max, whatever. Yeah, looks good. We have no problem in this game, honestly. It's well optimized. And there you go. That's actually really good performance. Wow. 1600p, just the lightest scaling and everything turned up. Easy high performance there, like 120 FPS. This game is actually really well optimized. It's not the newest game by any means, but regardless. Let's go to quiet mode. This is going to be a case where in balanced mode we're going to be totally fine. Give it a sec there. Yeah, we did lose, 30 FPS or whatever, but you're still at 90 or 80 to 90. So exceptionally good performance here. Okay, we're on my 4K screen now. Let's check. Probably didn't set everything properly. Let's see though. So go like that there. Let's kick that back into that performance mode just because we're at 4K now. So 4K there, quality scaling, sure. So it's quality scaling to start maxed. Yeah, so 4K max, which is quality scaling. You could add more scaling, but I mean, again, it's 4K, you can get away with it, but there's almost no point. You don't need frame gen either. Honestly, you just don't need it. It's just going to run really well. So this is going to be a case of just really, really good 4K experience here. And you can add more stuff if you need really high frame rates, but I mean, that's an easy 80 right there or above. Okay, we'll do some Indiana Jones, 1600p. I guess we'll do high. Should be fine there. Path tracing, start with it off. Vegetation, resolution scaling off, obviously. Whatever, that's fine. Just looking for scaling here. Oh, here it is. Resolution scaling, static, DLSS. Let's just put on the lightest because once again I always do. So really good performance here. Look at that VRAM usage. Yep. Excellent performance though, honestly. Really, really good performance. I'm not very far in this game. But yeah, we're 160 over here. No frame gen or shenanigans. Looks great too. Looks great on the screen. Let's come back over here. Yeah, it's going to run really well. 100 in this more challenging area, 120, 130 over there. Quite good. Since we're in a lit area here, let's throw on some of that ray tracing. Path tracing. High? Can we do it? I don't know. Probably. So only sunlight. Ray reconstruction, sure, why not? Okay, so now we have high path tracing. Only sunlight. What's the opposite? What's the other options here? Off. All lights? Sure. So high, all lights, I guess. On. Sure. So much. Let's maybe turn up the scaling there. Yeah, so balance scaling, and then everything else just maxed out, or like really high. Yeah, I guess it's maxed out. Yeah, so let's see what we can get here without any form of frame gen. Yeah, 46. Pre-frame gen, so you could get away with frame gen now. I mean, you have a lot of ray tracing stuff going on here. Let's try. I mean, we can try frame gen. You certainly don't need it without all this ray tracing crap on. So yeah, we had a base of close to 60, so I'm okay with using higher frame gen. I don't like using frame gen, as I've said many times, until you're getting a higher level. But here it feels snappy because we have, you know, a base of 60. Now we have all that performance turned on, and I didn't even turn up the DLSS too much because, you know, I don't want to do too much, but it's here running really well. Honestly, very, very well. Yeah, and it looks good. It's running well. Okay, we're back. We reset here. We turned up the settings. Some games, I guess, need to be restarted every time. So now we're at Ultra, though. So we're at Ultra here. Path tracing and that on medium. Ray trace reflections. I mean, yeah, I'll turn it on. We're going with the high stuff. So we're going to go with everything maxed out there. DLSS, performance, I guess. Pretty cranked up here. No frame gen yet. But this is basically the game like really maxed out. And 53 without frame gen's pretty good. Look at that VRAM there, 13 gigabytes. So that's where 16 gigabytes starts to come in handy. This game is a VRAM hog. So the 5070 Ti might start to sweat a little bit here. You could probably tweak a few things and get it under. It's 12 gigabytes, which is still pretty good for like a 70 series, but it's only 12. This is the 80 series, so you get 16, and you're able to do that. So this is a game where you're going to start seeing separations between the 5070 Ti and the 5080. And I mean, we're getting like 60 or above 60 over there and 50 here. So I mean, it's doing pretty well, right? And then once you throw on frame gen, you know, you're going to be getting actually pretty good frames here. If I can find it. All right, so go with 4 times. The VRAM doesn't get changed, that's the thing, right? But the frame rate goes up. So you will be playing like this, and you're going to have a pretty good time, because our base rate was 60, like I said. And it's going to run well, honestly. And you get that extra VRAM. And you could throw on a little bit more settings even, turned up even more. And I mean, then you're going to be over 13, 14 even. So yeah, that extra little bit of VRAM is really useful. That's one of the reasons I'm turning this stuff all up here. So. Sorry, Andy. Okay, so now we're on a 4K screen. We'll have to probably actually go to 4K. It's going to be really tough to run those same settings at 4K, to be honest. I mean, it's just not going to run that well. So we will turn some stuff down. So we'll come down here, And we will first start with that full ray tracing off, like that. So we're going to turn full ray tracing off. DLSS, yeah, we can leave it unbalanced. Frame gen, we'll start with it off. Yeah, so 4K in the game without frame gen, just with some scaling. And the game turned way up, and you're going to get really good performance here. So you're going to be able to easily plug this into a TV, 4K TV, or 4K monitor, and just play the game. Again, no frame gen. You don't have all the ray tracing turned up, but still doing pretty well. See the difference there. So that's looking pretty good. Let's just go down. Some people aren't really into ray tracing. They don't care. So let's just go normal ultra. We'll go back to DLSS. We can turn this probably way down now. So we'll just go quality. So just quality scaling now on normal ultra if you don't need ray tracing. And you know, now the frames are way up. Again, no frame gen, which we can do after. But you're going to get really good performance here. And this screen looks really nice in this game. The blacks are actually really good for an IPS. And the colors are incredibly vibrant, which is nice in Cyberpunk, obviously. Zero reflections. Can you see me? Can you see me? No, you can't. There are advantages to having non-glossy OLED screens on a laptop. You know, you go with an IPS, very, very high color space, high quality IPS. I take it any day. I'm sorry, I will. Over an OLED. Yes, I like dark blacks, but I prefer rich colors on a non-glossy screen and not getting eye strain and this and that. So I'll take the non-OLED. That's just me. Everybody's different. I'm not going to discredit the OLED. But I'll take this screen any day over the OLED one. Yeah, looks nice. Okay, let's come in here and we can try, we'll try frame gen in a sec, but the next thing I want to do is come in and let's crank this way up. So we're going to go all the way up to ray tracing overdrive now, transformer model. Let's come in here, turn that back up because we're going to need it. We can try frame gen in a second. Path tracing is on. Path tracing in photo mode, no, okay. So now we're in like heavy duty mode. And even with path tracing, we do have a ton of scaling, but even with path tracing, we're still getting good frames here. Little below 60 here. Once we throw on frame gen, it should be fine. Okay, so let's come back with frame gen. It causes me to restart the game. See what that does. So basically, you know, if you don't want frame gen, just use less ray tracing and you'll be fine. Okay, now we're back with frame gen and the performance is skyrocketed. Obviously, it's 4 times frame gen. So we'll come in here and we will see what we were at. We were at ray tracing overdrive, just double checking. Scaling, we can probably turn it down, but we'll go balance this time. See what we get there. Again, path tracing and that. So just balance scaling, we turned it down here. We do have 4 times frame gen. And now, you know, our frames are way, way, way up. And it doesn't feel laggy, not in this game. There's some areas in the game where you get like little pieces of paper flying around with 4 times frame gen. You might get a little bit of ghosting, like trailers. But otherwise, it's fine. And with frame gen, you need to have a good base performance. You want to have a good base before you turn it on. So, you know, the fact that we were at, what was it, 50 or something, or 45 or whatever, before we turned on frame gen, meaning once we turn it on, it feels fine. If we were at 20 and then we turned on frame gen, it would feel weird and kind of laggy and smeary. And we're not getting that here. Look at that performance. We can turn down scaling even more. You might as well leave it on, honestly, because again, it kind of looks better than native in this game. Like that there. Right, you're not going to get the best lows. That's what frame gen does, but your average is going to be really high, so it's quite good. Non-frame gen, non-ray tracing. Just go down to ultra. So now we're on ultra. Let's just put on quality with frame gen, see what we get here. Give it a sec to do the frame. There we go. 247 FPS. So I mean, yeah, incredibly good performance.